Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Sukma Fadilat Laili from Class C, and here I want to explain to you about the impact of age on second language acquisitions. The first one that I want to talk to you, that actually we can improve our knowledge of language and better assess the starting along the route to the bilingualisms by looking into these age-related factors. Age can affect the learner's cognitive abilities, motivations, and an exposure to the second language which can influence the acquisitions process. In general, the younger learners have been shown to have an advantage in acquiring a second language. Why? Because the children have a more flexible and an adaptive brain. The children's brains are still developing and they are more receptive to new information, including the language itself. Not only that, the children also are self-conscious about making a mistakes, and it will make them easier to practice a second language acquisitions without fear embarrassment. While for the older people are still capable of speaking a second language at the higher degree of the competency with the right amount of drive, exposure, and then practice. Additionally, the older learners may have the opportunities to use the second language in the real-world situations, such as in the workplace of traveling, which can enhance their language skills. And talk about the critical targets hypothesis or CTH states that language acquisitions is the best done during the early years of the childhood. The benefits of learning a second language include increased job opportunities and then career advancement. The most important to acquiring are consistency and then regular practice. Another way to improve our language skills such as immersion programs, language exchange, and then online resources. There is evidence to suggest that there is a sensitive period during the childhood when the brain is more receptive to the language learning. And this suggests that while it may still be possible for adults to learn a second language, it may require more effort and time than it would for a child. And furthermore, the environment in which individual learns a second language can also impact their ability to acquire it. The method sections transcends more expectations, offering a comprehensive and transparent account of the methodological framework that underpins our research. And the study found that individuals who spent in a foreign language environment were more successful in acquiring the language, regardless of their age. The next one, I will talk you about the factors for the success in secondary language learning. The first one is demographic factors. It's unlikely that individuals will reach the same levels of the proficiency as the native speakers. Individuals' differences such as motivations, attitude, and then learning strategies can influence the L2 acquisitions. Motivations has been found to be a crucial factor in the successful L2 learning, with high levels of the intrinsic motivations leading to better outcomes. Aptitude refers to the natural ability to learn a language. And then lastly, learning strategies such as metacognitive and then social strategies can also affect the L2 acquisitions by facilitating or hindering the learning process. Secondly, its affective factors are defined as a set of the variables related to the personal factors, including self-esteem, anxiety, and then motivations that impact a learner's willingness and ability to learn a second language. The third is motivations. The success of language learners may also depend on the type and the levels of motivations they possess. There are the two kinds of motivations, integrative and then instrumental. For integrative, it's related with our willingness, our desire to become more integrated and accepted within the L2 community. While instrumental motivations refers to the goal of the learning a language to achieve the instrumental aims, such as the employment. The third is the social integrations. It is a play crucial role in influencing their proficiency in acquiring a second language. In this case, the introverts are more successful in learning a second language than the extroverts one, because they tend to be more reflective and then self-critical. while for the extroverts have more success in speaking and interacting in the L2 environment. The two main types of the language learning strategies there are the direct and indirect. The example of direct is memorizations or note-taking, while the examples of indirect is guessing and using context clues. The fifth is cognitive factors, include attention, memory, and then motivations, which can influence the processing and storage of the new linguistics informations. While the sixth is the language aptitude refers to the person's inherent cognitive inclinations or weakness for language learning. While the language acquisitions may be optional for the children, it is often necessary for the success as an adult, particularly in terms of the verbal and then linguistic abilities. Studies indicate that the specific cognitive skills like working memory, attentional control, and then significantly influence language learning aptitude. The last one is the working memory and the second language acquisitions. This will be tested as a variable in various situations throughout these investigations. And in short terms, that I can conclude to you that the children's is focused on the concrete things, while for adults is focused on the abstract things. Well, I think it's enough. Thank you for your attention and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.